So, you want to know what it's like to learn Spanish at a Spanish school? Well, I did just that. So a little background. Prior to learning Spanish, I used Duolingo for a couple of years. And although I felt like I knew quite a few words and how to put basic sentences together, I felt like I couldn't really have conversations with Spanish people, which is why I felt like learning Spanish in a Spanish school would be the best option. And what better way to do it than going to Spain and being completely immersed in it. I chose Valencia purely because it had great nightlife, but also it had a beach. I mean, that was my main sale point. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, let's start the vlog. So it's my first night staying here. And today, obviously, we got to the airport, got to the accommodation, and just after that, just went and explored the city. Just got some food and just had a chilled night. I didn't really want to go out because, you know, first day of school tomorrow. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I'm all, you know, all good and no hangovers, anything like that. I am really looking forward to tomorrow though. I think it's going to be good. I'm excited to, you know, seeing who's in my class and what the school is all about and yeah, what we're going to be learning. I'm not too sure, but also a little bit apprehensive because although I'm a beginner, I don't think they're going to put me in the very beginner class. They're going to move me up a bit. So I'm not too sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing because I don't consider myself to be that good. So I guess we'll recap tomorrow and let you know how it goes. I went to AIP Escuela de Idiomas, which literally translates to School of Languages or Language School. And it was really weird being back at school, seeing dozens of classrooms and students, mainly all were really young students. I'm talking like 17 to 21-year-olds. Then a few were a bit older. It was a clean and presentable school with just literally lots of classrooms and a library. I don't think there was much house facilities or anything else to do. After school, I decided to go to the beach. So glad I chose Valencia because you know, it's one of the main things to do after work or school, and the most easiest form of transport is using the local bikes called Venom BCs, which I'll talk about in another video. It was a good 15 to 20 minutes bike ride from where I was staying in the city centre, and it was just so nice to be cycling around. You know, not only another city, but in the sun too. The sun just makes everything better. I arrived at the beach and not only was it a glorious beach, you know, nice golden sand and very clean, however, I couldn't believe how wide of a beach it was. I don't think I've ever seen a wider beach. It was nice, literally just so much space to sit down. If you don't like sunbathing near to people and being squashed in like some beaches can get, then this is the place to go. Anyway, Andy, how did the first day go? Still a little bit anxious and just so overwhelmed with Spanish class today. I literally just did not understand a lot of the things, to be honest. The teacher and people in the class, they're all saying things, but if it's not been explaining what it means in English, how the hell am I meant to progress and learn? One of the other students, they were trying to translate on their phone, and the teacher saw her and said, you know, please don't try and translate, try and figure it out, and then use your phone later on. How can I figure out a word or a sentence that if I don't even know what it is? How can I just magically just magic up something and go, like, oh yeah, I think it means, you know, achieve, when really it means parliament, you know, just something crazy like that. So yeah, just checking out the sun here. It's about 28 degrees Celsius. Yeah, just gonna relax here until a little bit later on where there's an activity. I think a group from school going to be going out to a bar, socialising and playing games, so I'm going to check that out later on. So just finished the activity. Group of people go to a bar and play some board games. Most people could speak Spanish. There's me and another person from my group who just pretty much know English, only just a bit of Spanish. Yeah, it's good socialising, meeting some people. But now maybe about 12:15 midnight, and I was hoping to use a rental bike to get home, but the app is not working, so I'm having to walk back. But it's crazy when walking around at night that it's just a ghost town. I don't know if it's depending on the area or the neighborhood, or even you know, closer to the end of the week when things get more busy, but it's just not a soul on the streets, which is just quite nice to just walk through really and just look at the city at night time. So day 2 tomorrow, going to be in a different class. I'm really hoping that I know you know, some of the words, some of the language, and I can actually have sentences, because if not, then I don't know, do I get moved down again? I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. But yeah, really hoping that tomorrow's a bit more of a successful day, because today I didn't really learn anything. Just looking at the teacher going, do you understand? When really I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if it was free, but you know, I'm paying for this, so I need to make sure that I know it. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow is better. But you know, walking around at this time, I don't mind. You know, if I didn't feel safe, then I wouldn't do it. But so far, I haven't seen anything. It seems all good to me. Hello, and welcome to day 2. Just literally got back from the school. So I moved down a class. So I'm still in beginner class, but instead of being in week 3, I joined a group of week 2 students. Although I'd understood a bit more of the words, still, I just can't get my head round, you know, the teacher doesn't speak in English. They just speak in Spanish, and they're saying things to you also quite fast, and I don't understand what you're talking about. Well, I haven't learned every single word. So that's just how it is. That's just the immersion. And I was umming and ahhing, you know, do I move down a class again? You know, when's this going to stop? I had a word with the headmaster. They just said, that's how it is. You're constantly speaking in Spanish because it'll be easier to understand the three. God, I'm talking in Spanish now, 3 phrases, and your mind will just, you know, start clicking into place. And instead of how I've been using it before, using Duolingo, and it's constantly in English, and you know, I have to constantly keep thinking of words or translating it into English all the time. Whereas talking in Spanish, I'll just get used to the phrases and just literally just speak it. So I said I'll do one more day and see if I enjoy it. I'm just intrigued to see what a week 1 class would look like. I had like a very small feeling that it would have been like this. You got loads of people from all nationalities, you know, already that can speak, you know, their home language, which isn't English. So they know their home language, they know English as well. And now they're learning Spanish, or some of them know a couple other languages. I don't know, is it just a thing for English people? You know, we find it hard to learn other languages because we just expect everyone to know English. That's why we don't pick it up as much. I was really hoping to grasp it quite quickly, but at the moment it's a bit tough. I'm just really hoping that the next few days it will just start going in. Well, tomorrow is pretty much halfway through the first week. I was talking to one of the other guys in my class because he moved down with me because he was finding it a bit hard, and he spoke to some of the girls in our new class. I think he said, like, do you understand what they're saying or what's going on? And they're in the same boat. They don't really understand what the teacher is saying when they're constantly speaking in Spanish, and you're just having to just completely guess what she's saying. So I guess that's encouraging to hear. I'm not the only one where the teacher's blah 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 blah, and you yeah, and then they're looking at you like, you understand? Comprendo? Yes, sí, entiendo. Yes, sí. You don't want to be the awkward one and bring it up like, no, I don't understand, and make a fool of yourself. But everyone has been making a fool of themselves, so shouldn't really be embarrassed about that. You know, it's really annoying when, you know, you talk to people, you say to them, how did you learn? And they say, you know, you watch Netflix, you watch TVs, movies with subtitles on, you just pick it up. And I always look at those people like, how are you just listening to Spanish and all of a sudden that goes into your head? Like, oh yeah, I know what all these words mean without having to look them up, or no, I just don't understand it. And that's what they're pretty much saying to do in school. You know, the Spanish teacher is talking in Spanish and you're just meant to just listen and it will just fall into place somehow. It just absolutely fathoms me on how that works, but I guess I'm gonna try it. So welcome to my accommodation. This is a basic setup that you can get if you're going to be in a shared accommodation living with people. Desk, some shelves, my single bed, wardrobe, my clothes in, and that's it. Got just a nice little balcony. This is what I'm looking at. This is like literally what all the buildings look like, have all these balconies really that you may be able to sit out on. But that is literally it. That's my accommodation. It's very basic. Hey, welcome to day 3. Just sitting in the park, just finished school. Much better day today. I was a bit worried because I was going to have the same teacher as day 2 and she talks really fast. But then I sat in the classroom just as we're about to begin. Some woman comes in and pulls me and the guy that I've been with since day 1 and another girl. They pulled us out and went to this other teacher and yeah, started to enjoy it. I actually enjoyed today. The teacher just had like a different teaching style. She was a bit more slower the way she spoke, so I could just kind of understand her a bit more, pronounce words a bit more better. She even spoke in English a bit as well. Also, which quite helped, was she's quite attractive as well. Yeah, she was quite nice. We have got an activity today. Activity is volleyball at the beach, so I'll let you know how that goes later on. We played volleyball for a few hours, made some friends, then stopped halfway through as we admired the sunset. Just look how picturesque it looks too. So I've recently just got back from volleyball. Really good time. However, what wasn't a good time was I was wearing my sunglasses, looking cool, you know, thinking that I'm in Top Gun and they were all wearing their sunglasses, having a good time. They got their shirts off. That was me. And then until one of the students, one of the girls, she smacks the ball straight into my face, just like what happens on Meet the Parents, straight into my glasses. Now, can you see this crack? Yeah, absolutely f***ed up my glasses. My Ray-Ban glasses. Don't wear expensive glasses, you know, on holiday. Wear cheap ones. These are, you know, over £100 sunglasses, so this has really pissed me off. At the time, I didn't think anything was wrong with them because just got a fly on me. Great. But at the time, I didn't think anything was wrong with them because she did say, "I know, I'm sorry. Are they broken?" I thought, no, it's fine. Let's carry on. But then I felt, oh, wait a minute, these are a bit weird. They feel a bit loose. Yeah, they've been cracked. I didn't want to say to her, "Hey, you just broke my sunglasses. You owe me about £100 or buy me a new pair." You can't do that. It's a bit awkward to say that. Get back home, I see if I can super glue them. I mean, I can still wear them. They're still fine, but it just got this crack. And that's the end of episode 1. In the next episode, you can look forward to more of my progression of learning at the school, what the nightlife is like, as well as checking out some of the famous landmarks Valencia has to offer. Hopefully you've liked my adventure so far, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Alright, bye!